Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Hello and welcome to another episode of Living the Dream with Curveball. I am your host, Curveball, and today I am joined by Christina Flack. She is a celebrity makeup artist, and she is the founder of PrettyGirlMakeup.com. So, you ladies are in for a treat today. Christina, thank you for joining me.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Why don't you start off by telling everybody, giving people a little background about yourself, anything that you want to tell them to start off the interview?
Okay. Well, my name is Christina Flack. I am the founder and CEO of Pretty Girl Makeup. I am the mother of 5 children. I'm a celebrity makeup artist. I was married to Ken Flack. He was a professional tennis player. He and his partner, Rob Seguso, were #1 in the world in doubles. They were on the Davis Cup team. They won multiple Wimbledons. They were on the Davis Cup team, and we were very happily married. And my husband got sick with bronchitis, and it turned into pneumonia. And then he got sepsis, and he passed away from sepsis. And so, since my husband passed away in 2018, I have been with the Sepsis Alliance raising awareness for sepsis and trying to explain to people the dangers of it, so if they know the signs about it, that more lives won't be lost. And then I've kind of segued into becoming a grief expert, talking about grieving in a positive way and honoring your loved one by doing things that are, you don't need to be grieving in a way that have to be completely sad and miserable. And I feel like I started a foundation for my husband and my son at a school in Oakland, California. And I started a garden at an elementary school in Mill Valley, California, called the Bo Friedman Outdoor Classroom. And I just feel that if I was up in heaven looking down, it would be really hard for me to watch my loved ones sad and unhappy. And so I thought, what better way to honor them but to be doing things to help others? And so that's kind of what I do, besides running my company and being a makeup artist and being a mom.
Well, speaking of your company, tell everybody how you got started with that and how long that's been running, and kind of give a brief overview of what your company is about.
Okay. Well, I've been a makeup artist for over 20 years, and I was on holiday in Hawaii with my family and some friends. And I have this very funny friend, and she said, "Oh, look, our kids are all in the pool, and we're being pretty girls." And I started laughing. I said, "What does that even mean?" She said, "Well, no one knows we're mommies for 2 seconds, and we can just like be pretty." And so I thought, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. I think that's the perfect name for my company, because makeup is fun, and I'm not curing cancer. I'm trying to make people look and feel happy and good. And so I created a line called Pretty Girl. I worked with a chemist. My company, everything's made in the United States. And it's just been really an interesting journey to start a project that I thought was going to take, a week. And it turned into a year-long process formulating the makeup, and then, getting it out into the world. And it's been really wonderful, and I love it so much.
Well, tell us about some of the celebrities that you've worked with in the past and helped them out.
Well, I have an agent in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York, and in Mexico. And so I am so blessed that I get to work with all these extraordinary people. I just finished a TV show in March for Fox with Isaiah Washington, called Kitchen Talk, and that was wonderful. I've worked with Hilary Swank, Condoleezza Rice, Tyler Florence, Bobby Flay, Dana Perino, Ted Cruz. I've worked with just a ton of really amazing celebrities that are, so much fun. Johnny Weir, he's an ice skater. It's really fun because you get to know someone. You spend an entire day with someone. It's almost like when you go to camp and you just your relationships get bonded so quickly in a very short period of time, and that's kind of what being a makeup artist is. And I've been blessed getting to work with like fashion houses like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Carolina Herrera, and it's such a dream come true for me. I never expected to be in the fashion world the way I am, and it's fun and exciting, and it's hard work though. I have to say, you're on your feet all day, and it's stressful at times, and a lot of pressure, but it's really satisfies me artistically, being a makeup artist and working with the team, creating something, with art directors and fashion designers, and I'm able to put what I do on the person or the line, and it's really really fantastic. I love it so much.
So you have a link on your site that says "Meet Me." What happens, or what is the process when a person meets you?
Well, when COVID started, it kind of it's believe me, it's hit everyone and me included. I started doing virtual makeup lessons, and people can, I didn't have time to do that before, and so now I'm able to, people can, do a Zoom call with me, and I can teach them how to do makeup, and look at what products they have and which ones they should use and which ones they don't need to use. And so it's been really fun to have a little bit more contact with people that I don't normally get to do.
Well, give us a brief rundown as best you can, kind of a brief overview of each of your products and what they are, and just kind of tell us about them.
Okay. So I started out with a lip plumper. And I really am, it's important to me that things are natural and, not harmful to the environment or harmful to one's body. I like, clean beauty is very important. So I formulated a lip plumper with cinnamon, menthol, eucalyptus. So it's basically an irritant to the lip, but it plumps them up. And then I came out with some lip glosses that I formulated that have all different macadamia nut butter, shea butter, macadamia nut oil, olive oil, vitamin E. So it's anti-aging, but it's hydrating and it's very long lasting. And I created, I'm self-funded. I don't have, partners or investors. And so I had to be very careful, starting my line, how much money I could invest. And I came out with, 8 lip glosses, and I wanted them to look good on all different skin tones. I have, friends that are, all different shades, light skinned, dark skinned, and everything in between. And so I wanted all my products to look good on everyone. And I think I've succeeded with that. So, and then I came out with, due to COVID, I came out with a hand sanitizer. And then I have lipsticks. And then through the years, I've had, candles and scrubs and different things. And, I'm working right now with a hair manufacturer to come out with the hair care line. And I think I'm going to be expanding my line in 2021 to be a full makeup line of foundations and concealers and everything, and bronzers and mascara. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So, what would a person need to do if they wanted to become a makeup artist? What advice or what steps would somebody need to take for anybody out there that might want to do what you do?
Well, I think definitely you would have to have a passion for it, and working on your own face is fantastic way to start. But I worked on any face I could get my hands on. My sister, my cousins, my friends, and then it led to other friends, and then I started doing people. I would do people for free for their wedding, and then friends, and then it just kind of expanded. But there's so many different things on YouTube you can look at. There's classes you can take, and I think it's important to learn, what your style is. My style's pretty natural. I don't really go for what's in fashion. I mean, I don't go with like heavy contouring and heavy makeup. I want people to look like the best versions of themselves. So you know, I try to make sure I studied color, and that was very helpful to know like which colors look best on people. And so it's very important to look at a face and go, okay, what am I going to do to that? It's kind of like, you look at it and you're like, okay, if you figure out the best way to make that person look like their best version. And it's kind of interesting how that through, using makeup and colors that I'm able to transform someone into something that they've never looked like before, but still look like themselves. So it's really gratifying. I love it so much.
Are there any kind of certification throughout the states of the world that somebody would have to consider themselves a makeup artist or licensed?
Um, a lot of people go to beauty school to do like I don't cut or color hair. I style hair for photo shoots, but I don't cut or color. So I don't need to be certified as a hairstylist. And I don't, I'm not a facial person, so I don't do skincare. So actually being a makeup artist, you don't have to be certified. But I do, I have studied with a bunch of other makeup artists that I've respected, and I watch what they do, and I've learned a lot. And I'm very blessed. There's other, even though I'm a CEO of a makeup line, I'm very blessed. I've got quite a decent following, so I'm kind of an influencer, and so a lot of different makeup brands send me their products, which I use. Japanesque has been incredibly generous with me, um, and I just got some brush cleaner from a company called Zara. I'm looking at it right now. It's called Zolaterra, and it's a natural makeup brush cleaner, and it's really great. So it's kind of fun to try new products that other companies are very kind to send to me, and then I'll use them for photo shoots, and I always tag them. And so that's a good, you can always, there's another company that's been so kind to me called Kosas, and they sent me their entire line, and I am so blessed to be able to use these beautiful products, and it really helps me create magic on these faces.
Are there any other projects that you're currently working on that you haven't talked about, or any books or any shows or podcasts?
Let's see. Well, I'm speaking with some investors right now that I think are going to be coming in and helping, take my company to another level. So I'm excited about that. I work with a lot of oftentimes being a makeup artist, you are kind of confined. I worked with a jewelry brand yesterday, and they want you to do, or I worked with another company called Good Rider, which is an equestrian line. And so they their line, and they have their vision of how they want their makeup to look. But sometimes I'll get together with friends that are photographers or models. I think you've interviewed my friend Empress, and she's someone that I have worked with a lot. We've done magazine covers together, and she lets me kind of just, she trusts me enough to let me just do what I want with her face when we're doing a project. And we will do like really crazy lighting, or fashion that's very avant-garde, and I can do makeup and just let that artistic creativity that I'm usually kind of having to keep bottled up, I let it out. And so that's really fun to do. So I've been working, doing some really interesting things during COVID, with that, because it's been very hard for me. I'm used to being around people and, you know, being in a different place all the time. And so it's been very, emotionally, it's hard, being confined to your home and not being able to work with people and, go work on projects like, TV shows. I was supposed to go do a second season of Kitchen Talk with Isaiah Washington, and do another project with Tyler Florence. And, they've been postponed. And so it's nice being able to have that little outlet of being able to create something with the team. And I really enjoy doing that. And it's part of what makes me me, and fulfills me as a person. It really makes me happy. So I'm really grateful I've been able to do that since things have lightened up a bit.
Well, I haven't had a chance to interview Empress yet, but
Oh, I haven't.
we are trying to get it set up.
Oh,
And
you know her. She is a lovely, lovely person.
absolutely. So go ahead and throw out some contact information for the listeners. How do they check out
Okay.
your line and connect with you?
Okay, so if you want to go to prettygirlmakeup.com is my website to order product. If you use the discount code LOVE, you will get a nice, I think, 25% discount. And my Instagram is at Christina Flack Makeup. And then the Pretty Girl Instagram is Pretty Girl MKUP. So it's PRETTYGIRL MKUP. To follow us, and then Facebook and as well. We have Christina Flack Makeup and then Pretty Girl Makeup. So I would love that. And if my email, if anyone wants to get in touch with me, is Christina at Pretty Girl Makeup. And also, for your listeners, if they want to find out more about the signs of sepsis, check out sepsis.org. And there's a little timetable called TIME. And T is for the signs. Sepsis is it's a disease that infects the blood and it attacks your vital organs very quickly and then very aggressively. So if people know the signs, they can get on an IV antibiotic and survive. But if you don't get tested in time and the antibiotic in time, it'll attack your organs and there's no chance of survival. So T is for temperature. You could be either incredibly hot or incredibly cold. I is for infection in some place of your body. It could be a cut tooth or a sore leg or as in my husband's case, bronchitis and pneumonia. M is for mental decline. It's a little hard for them to think clearly and to get out of bed. And E is for excruciating pain. You feel like you're dying because you are. It's just incredibly painful. So if you have any of those signs, get to an emergency, get a blood test, and within 20 minutes they'll be able to tell if your body has gone septic and get you on an antibiotic and you'll hopefully survive. So that's very important to me as well.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like to touch on that we missed?
Let's see. Well, I wish everyone to choose happiness and joy and love in their life. I think it's really important. And I know grieving is incredibly hard. I lost my mother at a young age. I lost my son, Bo, and I lost my husband, and I lost my business partner, Stephen, and all, in a very short period of time. And I know how hard it is, but I also I was on a hike one day and I kind of was having a conversation in my mind with my husband, and I could hear him saying to me like how hard it is for him to look down and see me so sad at night crying. And I just thought, my gosh, the best thing I could do is to, honor him by being happy and doing things that bring joy to my life. So being a good mother, I'm doing things that make me happy. I ride my horse, I hike, I do yoga, I work in my garden, and I try to, be grateful for what I have and not for what I don't have, and not be sad about what I don't have. I think having gratitude and happiness in your life, it just makes the world a much more beautiful place.
Absolutely does. Ladies and gentlemen, Christina Flack. Christina, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure and honor. Have a beautiful weekend.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.